Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and I was more than halfway through my video when I realized that I messed up. I'm trying to do the hashtag April ABCs hosted by Marguerite at 7th Plaza and Tony. I think it's Tony Creates. And the only rule is that you have to, whatever you're posting that day needs to be the letter for that day. So today is Monday, April 7th, so it's F. But I had a whole bunch of glue on my table, so I was trying to start with G. And then by the end of the, at some point I was like, oh wait, I've just mixed them up. So we're going to talk about F. What the F? And some of the examples were like file folder. So I've got a file folder here that I have stamped on. Well, it was a ghost stamp when I was doing some stamping, and then also used on the gel plate. Just kind of picked up random stuff that was on the gel plate. Just kind of adds some more interest to that background there. And then also I've got, so there's this little pocket here with a little tab off the side. Just folded it and glued it on the page like this and made a flip up. You could do flip up or flip down, and just made this a little pocket on this side. And was also talking about a lot of things. And then, if you want to ink it, which I was doing because I don't love that big contrast between the light file folder and the paint. It's just too much of a contrast for me. It's not a bad thing, it's just a personal preference kind of a thing. So just inking it, it makes a difference. This is a little top tuck right there, if that's the top, because this is a pocket now, so one of those has to be a top tuck. And then by putting these on pages like that, then when you put them in your journal in a signature, which if you're new, a signature is a group of pages folded together as part of the book. Some books have one signature, some have two. Most books that you buy in the store have several, and they're usually 3 or 4 pages each. If it's a sewn-in book, you can go to the middle of that book and not the middle of the book, but you can go find the middle of a signature. So you'll know it's the middle if you can see it, because that's where the strings will be. I don't know if you can see those strings. So each signature in a book is bound in separately when it's bound. Some are glued, so then it's just one big. And this part here is called a book block, and then of course your book cover, your spine, all the little things. But since the purpose of the April ABCs is to help beginners, I want to explain as much as possible, even if it's something that I just happen to bring up and it doesn't start with the letter of the day. But today is F. So we have file folder, fussy cuts. Where do I get my fussy cuts? Mostly from I license them to use in digitals that I create, and my Ko-fi site is usually down below. So I license a lot. So I have a lot more fussy cuts than the average junk journaler, just saying. But if you don't have a printer, you can look in books. Like this is a vintage book that has really fun illustrations. I am always looking for books like this. Also, there's the Reader's Digest North American Birds, which has pages, which has really good images of birds, which I tend to fussy cut or use as pages in books. Or if I don't want to have to fussy cut the whole thing, I have ways around that as well. I have a video where I talk about focal points. I'll try to link that below because that starts with F. Your fussy cuts are mainly for focal point purposes. Like well, he doesn't really. I don't mean if you want to be eclectic and not match perfectly. He's nice and long, would be nice on something like that. I would probably go in and cut out that little bit because yes, that is where I obsess with the fussy cuts. And most people will use scissors. I like my Westcott precision scissors. A lot of people like other brands. You can also fussy rip. So I just kind of ripped around him instead of cutting because I kind of wanted to keep those little splatters that were there. And he can go as a focal point just fine like that. When I get digitals, sometimes they have, the cards already made. I'll still use that as a fussy cut, or at least partial fussy cut. In my shop, you'll see that I have some easy fussy cuts because that sometimes, you know, cutting this out is a pain. Cutting this out is easy. So my easy fussy cuts would have a background that you could keep or cut off, or even cut off partially. Like maybe I don't want to deal with all those leaves, but I still want this flower here to be a little bit more standout-ish. You know, I want it to kind of shine a little bit more. Then I would fussy cut around that part and just kind of tear as if the back of it there got torn all the way down, and I didn't have to cut out all that stuff, and it still is a nice fussy cut to use. Could even use a piece like that. But yeah, I will totally it's pretty, sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard to just start putting pieces together that work in a fussy cut. Here's another example of an easy fussy cut that I have, that I try to use in my digitals that I make and whatnot. And here's another example of book page. Fussy cut that out. Will I fussy cut out that? Yeah, it looks like I already started to. I usually wait to cut out these parts until I'm ready to use them so they don't get all messed up too much. However, they are easier to fussy cut when there's more around them. Like if I fussy cut this first before I fussy cut around here, it's a little bit easier. This one I fussy cut loosely. It's just, but I could still use that on a page. And so, and then if I wanted to incorporate it onto the page, I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm going to take this file folder, which I just added some strips onto. And your ephemera can be nice and cut, nice and straight and perfect if you want to, or it can have rough edges, and you can use your deckled edge ruler. You can have it have non-straight lines. It's up to you. I am gonna cut off this real quick and I won't make you watch. And one of the things I like about using file folders is that you end up with these kind of cool pieces like that. I'm just gonna tear that and just kind of see how they look on there. Yeah, they're okay. Do I like it better over here? Maybe a little bit. How are they on this one? I think I like them best. Oh, we do have some blue in there. Alright, so silly me. Will they work this way? No, they're a little too tall for that. Alright, so we're going here, probably. Just gonna kind of go here. So the background here was just like ghost print of some stamps. So I'm using the big global land stamps type of a thing. And this piece over here that I'm cutting off can still be used like in a cluster or whatever. And let's see, since I've got the rough edges on the other three sides, I might as well have the top be a rough edge as well. It's up to you if you want to save those pieces or not. Alright, so we have our focal point that we've loosely fussy cut. I'm going to start by inking it around the edges and kind of go in a little bit to just make it not quite so bright white. I want a little bit darker on the outside, and then just gently coming in with my ink, not too dark or it gets a little bit too much. So just really lightly, start light so you don't get it, get it as dark as you want or whatever, but just helps a little bit to ink that up so that it's not stark white. So already that has made a difference. And then we will glue that on. Tomorrow we'll talk about glue. I'll talk about the kinds of glues that I like and purposes for different glues, and I don't know what we'll talk about. Yeah, if you're new here, I don't plan out my videos, which is probably why I end up messing them up. I just kind of wing it, and you're just here with me in my studio playing, doing whatever I was probably going to do anyway. I just bring you along for the fun and give you someone to kind of hang out with while you're creating, hopefully, and hopefully inspire as well sometimes. Alright, so for this focal point with the loose fussy cutting, because maybe there's a lot of too many tiny details you don't want to deal with, I'll do that, and then I will come in with some stamps. like some, let's see. And if you don't have stamps, you can just use markers and whatnot. I'm looking for a script stamp. Do you think there's a script stamp here? No, of course not. That's all right. But, and then I can go ahead and maybe bring in some of the orange throughout here. I had an orange here. Here it is. So that's a possibility. I might just do some little polka dots. It's going to be a muted orange because there was some turquoise on there, I think. I could test it out. I'm not going to. And then I just want to kind of overlap the fussy cut and the papers around it. And it just kind of incorporates it and makes it look like this is part of the background. You know, kind of gives it that feeling. Even though it wasn't part of the background to begin with, we're just trying to incorporate it. Whoops. And give it that feel. And if you want a whole polka dot, just, you know, keep doing that. Go over a little bit more if we want to. Use bubble wrap. Some people like to do it in threes, so you have like your triangle. I'm an even number kind of gal though, so sometimes also, well, it's okay if it feels a little bit heavy on the bottom because it's the bottom and it grounds it if it's a little bit heavier on the bottom. Kind of balances the darkness up here by adding a little bit more down there. And that's up to you, you know. If just do it what your eyeballs like. It's your eyeballs make the decisions on if it's something that you want to do or not. Let's see. Bring in a little bit of. I wonder if I have a color that's kind of between here and here. I don't think I do. What color is this gonna be? That would work there. I might use that. This is just Seafarer. These are similar pattern sizes. I don't usually do that. Usually I'll use like a larger pattern and smaller pattern together. But apparently right now I feel like, whoops, doing crooked. That's what I feel like doing. I don't feel like doing it. I don't like it to be crooked, but sometimes it comes out crooked, and what can you do? Just kind of wanted to bring some of that blue elsewhere on the page. Basically, that's what that amounted to. Do I want to do it anywhere else? You know what? I do, kind of. And if you don't like the straight lines on there, how I get around that is I will just do it like this. And then, well, it is still straight over there, but you get more distressed lines. But you can't see through your paper, so that makes it a little bit harder. Just saying. All right, so that is how if I want to do a loose fussy cut, or if I'm fussy tearing it, that's what I will do. Let's see, and I'm going to be linking my other fussy cut video below, so I don't need to go into fussy cuts too much, right? So fussy cuts, focal points, I mean, it's focal points video is what I have. So we're talking about file folders, focal points, fussy cutting. Oh, where to get fussy cuts? What did you say? Digitals, books, magazines. It's okay to use magazine pictures in your journals. I mean, they're junk journals. You have an old magazine that's sitting around, go use it, tear it up. You can also use your own art. Ooh, let me get that. Go on Instagram and you will see all kinds of inspiration for some art. Like this one, I used just a Posca pen and drew out the flowers and then came back in with a metallic, what's the name of those pens that I like? This brand, where is it? Oh my word, where's the brand? Oh, Signo. This was the gold, is what I used on this one. And then this one, I've started coloring it, haven't finished, but that'll make a fun belly band. This is just on mixed media paper. This is on mixed media. Usually I'll use sketch paper, like this is on sketch paper. Things in nature are not perfect. You do not have to draw things perfectly. In fact, sometimes they're better if they're not perfect. There's a flower. It might have ended up being a flower because that's the shape that I cut out, or maybe I cut it out first. I don't know. There's a leaf. So you can use your painty papers to make some focal points and fussy cuts. Let's see, here's a mushroom. I think that's supposed to be a tree, but it could totally be the bottom of a mushroom too. I mean, and all I do with this is I just squiggly cut out pieces because they kind of look like trees. But works for a mushroom too. You can have it be a little short stubby mushroom or tall mushroom. However you want. Like this right here, that could be the top of a mushroom. It could also be the bottom of a mushroom. You just cut out your fun pieces and you can use those as focal points. I don't remember. So here's one, and then I've added shading with alcohol markers down at the bottom. This is just brown paper bag, some paint, gesso and paint, and coffee is what that dark brown stuff is actually. And I think this was, it was 2 pieces, but then I glued it onto one page. That's what it looks like, one page in the back. Let's see. This was book page that had some paint and ink on it, and I just used a white, the white Signo probably, to draw the lines on that. I obsess. Sometimes I just obsess and I make a whole bunch of something. And the more of things you make, the better you'll get. So don't think that I just started, well, some of them I might have, but I didn't just start getting this good overnight. And this one I don't even know if I cut that, if I drew that before I cut it or not. Sometimes I'll cut things, just cut them. Like this just has map in the background, and drew that little leaf on there. Let's see, that I showed that one, right? Oh, that's a stamp. That's another thing you can use for fussy cuts, is you can stamp on paper. Oh, see, there's at the bottom of a mushroom. There's a top of a mushroom. A mushroom house, fairy house. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, there you go. So I just go on Instagram and look at other people's stuff and be like, oh, I could maybe draw that. And this one I could even put on a page like this. I've done that before. I actually really like that look, where you keep the background on one side and cut out the background on the other side. It makes a really cool look for a focal point on a page. This is just a big funky little leaf that I drew. So yeah, this is also, people call this collage fodder. Works great to use for, that's just a weird flower that I did. There's a rainbow. Use that as a focal point. One of the feathers, I haven't cut it out yet. A little coral, more leaves. All right, sorry. I just got rid of a lot of ephemera that had all my cut pieces on them, so now I'll probably be willing to make some more, because I had so many. I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna want all this, so I left it up in Maine with my family. Even this piece, it's not fussy cut out, but it could still work as a focal point or in a collage piece, either way. So I'm not going to make this video super long. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the F's. For F for ABC, you know, hashtag April ABCs, because this is supposed to be for beginners. And so we had the file folders. Those are really fun to use, whether as a folio. Oh, I should have done a folio. Oh, that's what we can do. All right, it's not going to be short. I'm going to do a folio real quick. So this idea is adapted from something I saw from Joey DeFee with one of the folios she did. And want to look for books that you like the pictures in, that have nice large pages. I think I'll actually use one of these in here. And my other ones I made, I used the pages from this really cool book that had all these. In fact, this one's perfect to use because the pages are thicker, so it gives them a little bit more strength. This one, I think it'll still be okay. Just won't have as much heft to it as the other ones, but I think it'll still work. And I'm still going to use my deckled edge ruler, or a regular ruler. Sometimes I just use because I can cut faster with a ruler than with the scissors or the other thing. So for the folio, I think, do I want to do it? And I think this one I'm just going to do like here, and all right. So for this one, I'm folding it in thirds, but this one's going to be longer than this one, just because. Well, actually, that's how the other one was too, wasn't it? It's been a while since I've made this. And then you want to, like the back here, I will cover with something a little bit stronger. Could even just be music page. What colors do we have? We've got some yellow. I might just use some of this back here. And sometimes I'm really lazy and all right, so I'm actually going to go so that it shows on the front here. Yeah, I don't want that though. So I'm going to come in and get rid of some of that white. Okay, so your paper will sometimes separate when you tear it. If you don't want the white to show, just that's the part you pull away. I wanted it to show a little bit, just not quite that much. Oh, look at Ode to Joy. This is something I learned from Joey DeFee, so that kind of amuses me. All right, I'm just going to glue that on there and cut off the excess. And I know I'm gluing like a child. That's because I have inflammation in my hands. So that's how I have to do it right now. I'm not ready to give up on arting and craftsing. Did I get that fairly straight? Because that was important to me. No, not even a little bit straight. So you do have a tiny bit of wiggle room if you use glue stick. If you use art glitter glue, you have no wiggle room. Just saying. And then just want to cut that off. I usually will glue and then cut. The glue will dry if I want to reuse those pieces, but sometimes I don't, you know, it's not that big a deal. And you want to wait for that to dry before you fold it. It's in there. Is that the glue? Or is that something? Must have been something under there. All right, and over here, I'll use another piece. Do we like blue and yellow together? It's a weird. You know, sometimes I care and sometimes I don't. I still want this to show. So I'm just gonna kind of come down like that. That's all right. And just glue that down. You could use this as a journal cover in the end, you know, when it's all, how did I have this when it's all said and done? But for Folio, we're just kind of folding it into thirds, and then we'll add little pockets and whatnot. Like right down here is a good place for pockets because we're just covering words. I don't really want to cover that, but a pocket here won't be a bad thing. If you want your paper you use to be sturdy enough. So this is collaged, and I think it will be a good thickness. All right, so our pocket on this side, we don't need to be more than here. And right about there. I like a torn pocket. I just do. So this can go here, except for I won't be able to fold it, so I need to come in a little bit more. So I will use my ruler because that will help me. There we go. So that could be a pocket there. I will ink it first, and I'll use my art glitter glue to glue it down. I can even fold this over if I want to. I might want to. And to just show a little bit. I know. Sometimes you don't have to match all your colors. That's something I want to tell you. It's okay. Sometimes I am all about things matching, and sometimes I am all about things just being eclectic and just being what they are, because that is where my brain went at the time. The outside and the inside of this won't necessarily show together anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about it. And if your journals have lots of different colors throughout them, then whatever you're in the mood for that day, that's the page you can go to. But then sometimes I will do totally coordinating pieces. So I'm an enigma. Too bad I didn't do E, and I could explain to you how I'm an enigma, and I do different things for different reasons, and sometimes no reason at all. And they might contradict each other. All right, so you do, okay, it's not quite dry. Hopefully we can fold it fairly soon. This one I think we can get away with folding. And some kind of pocket is going to go here as well. Do we want to use the same stuff here? Maybe. Okay, it does have a little bit of yellowy orange in it somewhere. I don't mind that some of the words show in the background. I'm okay with that. I do want more of that flower to show though, so I will just cut off the top right there. Yeah, that's cute. That's fun. Let's do that. I didn't even think about Folio. I don't remember if Folio was on there or not. So we're just reclaiming some scraps and some book page to make a folio. It's just fun. So yeah, folio is usually a folded piece that has pockets that you can then put stuff in. I don't know if that's the you know, if that's the official definition, but that's how I perceive it to be. So there's that. You kind of regret using that blue, but that's okay because there is some blue in there and it's similar blue, so it'll work. It'll work just fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. You know what I forgot to do though? Well, you don't have to, but I'm just going to round them. Joey, when she made hers, she actually angled them like they'd be an envelope, like an envelope kind of a shape. I'm just going to round mine, which is also sort of an envelope shape. Probably want to wait till they're dry before you go doing that though, just saying. Okay. Well, that's kind of, yeah. Just fix it. If it gets a little messed up, just go in and trim it and fix it. I'm going to ink my edges because I do like to ink. Just kind of frames it out, gives it a little vintage look. Makes it not quite so shiny and new. You can have shiny and new. Most people that get into junk journaling do not like shiny and new. Just saying. I mean, I could round all the corners of this if I wanted to. I don't want, well, I don't know. Right now, I'm not wanting to. At some point, I might want to. It's all good in the neighborhood. And so if you feel like just this paper is not thick enough for you, you can always back it. You can always back it with another one of the same book pages just to give it some thickness and sturdiness. But I think it'll be fine because I am covering quite a bit of it, you know, except for the parts that I don't want to cover because they're pretty and I want them to show, and that was the whole point of using the book page. I'm just kind of highlighting the pieces that I like. All right, now down here, you might want to, I'm looking for my ruler. Just even off this side right here. And just kind of come across here. Whoops. So that could be a little pocket tuck spot over there. And then here, what I might even do is, let's see. So you want it to be slightly narrower than the piece that you're putting it on. Okay. And you could just put it on straight like that. Or you could kind of give it an arch. I'm thinking of giving it an arch kind of a deal. I still want it to be torn though. I don't know how it'll look. I'm just kind of like, you know, kind of like it's a weird little collage bush or something. I don't know. You do your pockets how you like them. If you like them to be all wonky looking and whatnot, you can totally. And that'll just go on as a pocket. Like I said, this is a version. I don't do things like other people. I watch other people make things and then I do my own thing. So this is going to go on. I know most people put a divot, like a punch hole, use a hole punch to put something in their pocket, but not me. I make a mountain for my pocket, because why not? Where's the piece that I was going to put here? I lost it. Nope, it's right here. So if you do get a lot of white and you're not loving it, just you can ink it with dry ink like this, or you can even use like watered down ink and color it, like totally color it if you want to. So this, I don't mind if those words show that back there, that's fine. I'm just going to glue the side and the bottom, and it'll be a tuck spot so that I can use as much of that width as possible of this, you know, when I put something in the pocket. So this is basically a folio, and then you want to be able to close it somehow. And one easy way to close it, oh here, I wanted brad. Now if I were smart, I would have put my brad in there, and then the back of my brad would have been covered, but I didn't. So I'm going to put a pocket over here of some sort. Like I already have that pocket. I'm going to put another pocket. Like we're going to double our pockets here, because we can do that if we want to. Why not? We just need to make sure. Okay, I'm going to do that. So this pocket can go here. It'll actually be a tuck spot, and this pocket will still be open. And I'll show you. Let's go ahead and ink that up real well. But first, I want to put this in the pocket, because then this won't be showing here. If I put it just through the page, it's going to show there, but I don't want it to show there. But I want something for my closure to be able to hold on to. Now this particular one with that really cool paint on that, I bought that from Sharyl at the Whole Bucket. She has live sales every other Tuesday. The next one will be April 15th. And so if I don't want things to get snagged, 2025, we're in that year, I will put a piece of tape over it just so that things don't get snagged in there when I put them in the pocket. If you're worried about the tape coming off, just use glue. It's fine. That's all. That's all you do for that. And now you do that, and then you can just take some twine, and if you do not have an eyelet setter or a way to use eyelets, you can just put your twine around there. I do, so I will probably, well, if it's easy to find, I'll use it. Otherwise, we're just using twine, because I've been out of town and I don't necessarily know where all my stuff is. Didn't I put it in? Everybody look to the left, everybody look to the right. I had it. I don't have it. I did have some twine here though. Be right back. It was right there. So I'm just going to take some twine and go around 2 or 3 times. Just make sure I have enough. And give myself extra, because you just never know. Alright. So if I knew where my eyelet setter was, I would put an eyelet right there. That's just a hole with a little middle piece that goes in there. But I don't. So I'm just going to take this and tie it around. And this is probably even a more simple way to do it. Tie it around here. Tie it around my brad. That's what it's called. Or paper fastener. Kind of double knot it, so that it won't come out. Could have even done that on the other side, but that's alright. You can put it wherever you want. Your brad, your paper fastener, if you're using that for your closure. Give yourself a little more string would be helpful too. You just don't want it coming out, you know. Try to double knot it. Give yourself more string if you need to. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap that last little bit around here, just so we don't have to see it. so much. Tuck it in there as much as I can. And then this can just wrap around, and when it gets to the end here, you just loop it over that, and you have a cute little closure for your folio. And you've got a little trifold folio. Opens up. It's got pockets that you might make tags for if you're smart. I'm not always. Let's just make a little tag just to ow, ow, ow. Just to show the people. Alright, so we have a tuck spot here, and we have a little tuck spot there, which you could have something stick out all the way to over here, because this closes like that. So that's why I want to do that as a tuck spot. Tuck spot here, a pocket here, a pocket or tuck spot here. You just can't do anything too wide. And you could put a pocket on the back as well if you wanted to. So there you go. There's a little folio used from book page. I will try to link Joey to see in the description box, because she's got plenty of these. You can do it however you want. If you want it all on the top, some on the bottom, some on the top, it's up to you. I don't know. What the heck? Oh, it was just loose. Ha ha ha. There we go. So there we go. There's our little folio. You did file folders, focal points, fussy cut, folio. If you have any more questions about anything that starts with F, ask me in the comments below. I hope you all just have a delightful day, and I hope it is not the Mondayest Monday that ever Mondayed for you, but I hope it's a really marvelous Monday for you. So yeah, and I hope you'll come back if you're new to my channel. Have a delightful day, guys. Love you.